World of Warcraft is a massive multiplayer online video game. The object of the game is for players to work together in small groups to fight enemies, explore dungeons, and to level up the player's character. Players pick a type of character with specific abilities and a class which further allows the player to take advantage of the character's skill set. I personally have no experience with massive multiplayer online video games, and what surprised me the most was how World of Warcraft developers provide a website which acts as a fantastic portal, allowing newbies like me to learn the story behind the game, which types of characters there are to choose, and which class options there are. All of these features help newbies, like myself, understand how they would like to play the game. On the website, worldofwarcraft.com, there is a guide which provides all the details required for a newbie to understand the inner workings of the game. The guide teaches new players how to build their first character and even how to group up with other players and collaborate, a skill that is vital to the gamer's success and also a skill that is vital to allow new players to immediately create relationships within the game and make sure that they do not act in a way that would frustrate other players or hinder others' abilities to achieve success within the game. Although the video game's content is strictly generated by the developers of the game, how the game is played is up to the gamer. The different styles of characters all have special abilities, and when a diverse group of characters, for example, a human, a night elf, and a worgen, all work together to fight and kill enemies, their chances of success are much better when they take advantage of each other's strengths and compensate for each other's weaknesses. Because some characters do more damage, some heal teammates, and others use magic to do a combination of both. When teamed up with other players, a gamer is much more likely to succeed in their task. A great example of this system of teamwork is a dungeon. A dungeon is a labyrinth populated with enemies that a group of players explores with the ultimate goal of killing all the enemies and making it to the end of the dungeon. Dungeons allow players to take on leadership roles where they instruct their teammates where to go, what attacks to use, and when to heal other teammates. Who leads the group depends on who initially decides to be responsible for who does what during the mission. The leader may have more experience than the other players, but does not have to, and who acts as the leader can change instantaneously, with multiple leaders taking the role throughout the dungeon. Because the role of leader is very fluid, each player has the opportunity to exhibit leadership skills, and no one is excluded from assuming the position. To communicate with each other, players use a chat system similar to instant messaging or text messaging. This form of communication via written text can be considered a form of old literacy, but the intricacies that are required for teammates to communicate differs from other forms of messaging. For example, if a player wants to communicate something to the whole group, they would type the command \s, which allows all players in the vicinity to see what the player is saying. If a player wants to specifically communicate to one other character, there are other specific commands to do so. World of Warcraft is a game wherein the only way for players to progress is to collaborate with each other. Players take advantage of others' skill sets, understand where the group's strengths and weaknesses lie, and use those strengths and weaknesses to the advantage of the group as a whole. The type of skills that are required for players to work as a group in the game World of Warcraft promotes a system of thinking that, if taught in public schools, could be a fantastic way for students to work together. Students collaborating like this would progress their cognitive thinking skills and acknowledge each other's strengths and weaknesses in a way that would help the group as a whole. In today's schools, students work independently to succeed, creating a competitive environment where some students may be discouraged by other students having more developed skills in specific subjects. If schools promote group work and collaboration, students would be able to help each other out, assume leadership roles when necessary, and promote learning as a group effort instead of as an individual effort. Not everyone can be a great healing character in World of Warcraft, similarly to how not every student is going to be great at long division. Every student has their strengths and weaknesses, and public schools have the ability to develop a system that allows collaborative thinking.